It's Tuesdays. We still don't have a name, but we're here.
Right? I said Tuesday's tips with SnL.
Oh, did you? Well, there you go. I guess we kind of have a name.
Look, it said we started a live.
So I didn't realize it was Tuesday because, technically it's kind of a Monday. And she's like, so what are we going to do? I'm like, do for what? And she's like, at 3:30. I'm like, oh, whoops. So we've been talking about it, and we've been trying to come up with some fun things to show you guys some stuff that's come into the shop, which is really fun, some new things. But we also have a couple kind of tips, tricks, that kind of stuff that we're going to throw in there too. Somebody asked me, well, can you post whatever it is that you're doing? And I said, if I knew what I was doing, I'd be more than happy to post it. So when we have a plan and we're going to talk about fill in the blank, we will absolutely post it and let you guys know what that's going to be.
My mom is watching.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
I think my mom's knitting, so I think she's occupied right now. She'll come back and watch the video later. Yeah. So we've got a lot of really kind of fun stuff, but we wanted to talk a little bit about what's under your needle, and we're going to start that off by telling you what was under ours this weekend. So if you guys are anything like us, you had very large plans for, what am I going to do the holiday weekend, and how much am I going to get done? I mean, like stacks of stuff, we load up like we're going away for a massive vacation of all the things that we would need to take home to finish things.
Like we're going to be gone for 10 days.
Right. And how many did you finish?
0. This many.
She's off screen again.
I didn't get anything completed. I worked on a couple of little projects, but the time just gets away.
It does get away from you.
Yeah, I found...
So did you have company over?
I did not have company over. I watched... we've been watching reruns of Stargate, like the sci-fi show.
I like Stargate.
So I watched Atlantis first, which I should have watched Stargate.
Yeah.
So we're on like season 6, and I sort of got sucked in. And the next thing I knew, Netflix said that I had been on there for like too many hours, because it was like, are you still watching?
Continue watching? Yes.
Absolutely.
No. I don't know what that message means. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I see it all the time.
We've been organizing at the house because, we got an enormous amount of stuff. Extra stuff that we didn't know that we were going to have. And so we've been organizing. So I quilted. Remember last week you said you expected my love notes to be finished. Yeah, I got all of the blocks actually quilted, but I didn't get the sashing or the borders, and I definitely didn't get it bound. And it was raining this morning, so I didn't even bring it in.
Yeah, that's why I left the project that I've been working on at home. I was like, I don't want to get it wet just in case. So I don't know that I actually finished anything this weekend. I did start and almost finished many different things. Unlike you, I had 3 different days of company.
You did have company.
So I had company on Saturday, I had company on Sunday, and then my mom came over last night, but we sewed. So that was kind of, but she got to use my luminaire to put the border on her love notes, and she's like, this is really cool.
Yeah. It is a fantastic feature.
Such a wonderful feature, and it's unlike anybody. I mean, it's just so easy. You literally, the computer does all the work for you. My mom was very nervous, and I'm like, this is all you have to do, and she's like, that's it?
Yep.
I was like, that's it.
It is.
So,
and I always tell, I know a bunch of people that are watching, you have this feature on your machine and you're afraid to use it. So I told somebody on the phone today, I'm like, just get yourself a fat quarter. It doesn't have to be a big project.
It doesn't have to be big. Just get the figure out what it is that you're doing.
Draw out that size on there, and then don't pick the 10.5 by 16 hoop. Because
no, you need the small one from that perspective.
Pick like your 5 by 7 hoop or
so
something. So
you learn the multi-hooping and how that works.
Exactly. And you have to, no matter what we say, you really need to just plug in those measurements, and then you need to go to the machine and you need to follow the prompts on the machine, because everybody thinks that we're not telling you anything that's really not there.
No,
you just got to
really
do it.
All right there.
Yeah.
You just have to, it says how wide is it? You type it in.
Right.
How long is it? You type it in. I mean, it's literally that simple, and the computer in the machine does the rest.
It's so smart. Cool. So you just have to try it. Everybody has a fat quarter. If you don't,
guess where you can find them.
You can find them here. But I know you all have fat quarters at home that you can try it on. So you should
I did get a lot of organizing done this weekend.
Did you?
I folded a lot of fabric. There was a lot of stacks that I had, cut pieces out of and then just threw in a pile.
Yes.
Yeah,
Did you see
I got rid of my pile.
Did you see our buddy Gail bought some IKEA cabinets and she tagged us and she said it was all her fault. It was all our fault.
Your
it's
fault.
My fault.
It's
maybe.
her fault. Just so you guys know, she's
and
the IKEA.
She was organizing them in color. So if you get a chance, you should check her out.
So props to my husband. I said I needed shelves, and 2 hours later he came up. He had built them for me out in the pole barn, and he was like, "Here," and I was like, "Wow,
yeah,
thanks." So
that
then
was much quicker than your cabinet.
Yeah, but my cabinet's prettier.
It is. Well, I haven't seen your cabinet or your shelves. Your cabinet is pretty. The shelves.
Plywood.
Okay.
But
so
I was like, so I need to paint those now.
Maybe you should get some glitter spray paint.
Well, I still have the glitter paint from the walls, so I'm gonna
it's
gonna have to have some glitter on
Yeah.
it. So that is, but yeah,
There's
I did.
Gail. I love
there
your
she
cabinets,
is.
Gail. Good job.
So yeah, I did quite a bit of little things. I got a vinyl. I forget what they're. Take a peek. Is that what that?
Oh yeah, the Kimber.
I got it all embroidered, both sides, the front and the back, embroidered. But I didn't get it sewn together, so I just have to do that. I worked on my Laura Heine collage quilt. It's so close to done.
Yes,
getting so close. And
you got sucked into that.
I did. So Beth, thank you for that. It is all your fault. That is all I do now is fussy cut flowers and random things to fuse them onto other things, but I'm really enjoying it, and it's really cool because, you know, a lot of the things that I do, you probably all know, I'm more of an embroiderer than a sewer. So I, pop in a design, the machine spits it out, and I'm like, look what I did. But I didn't actually do anything other than pick the fabric and pick the threads and actually put it into the hoop. But
there's more to it. Don't
sell
yourself short.
No, but I mean, comparatively,
yes.
This is a 6 foot tall piece of beautiful that I actually did all of it.
Yeah,
and it's well, sort of.
It is. You're
filling
drawing and filling. It's traditional.
It is. It's
applique.
very Even
if you don't stitch around the
I'm
edges.
actually enjoying it.
Yes,
so
it is kind of fun.
It is a lot of fun to see it all come together. You start with literally just an outline, and you're filling it in, and it's a lot of fun. So thank you so much, Beth. That's all I will be doing for a while now. But
she went down the rabbit
what
hole.
else? Yes, I did totally go down that rabbit hole. What else did I do? Oh, my Mondo bag. So I've been working on a vintage boardwalk jelly roll Mondo bag since the beginning of summer. And I thought it would be a really good bag to carry all summer. And I would do one panel at a time. Well, I finished all 4 panels and finished the lining, got the handles, and it's all I have to do is sew around the top, and I'm done.
So close. It's hard
so close, but
close,
my mom was on my machine, and I was like, so I was using the not as nice machine, and I'm like, I'm not doing that top stitching on this machine. I'm waiting for the good one. So
absolutely.
I'm gonna go and do that. So that was my weekend, and I only changed my needle a couple of times, so I think I'm still good because I did swap it out. But speaking of.
Yeah, so we thought we would bring you our little PSA about, SnL is bringing you a PSA about needles.
Needles,
so
let's go that way.
There you go.
So there's our very oversized needle. This is a replica of a Schmetz 100 by 16. So for those of you who don't know a lot about needles, this one here has all the deets. I'm learning. I'm one of those that not quite as bad as when's the last time you changed the needle, and people look at us go, change the needle? It's got the same one in it that I bought it in 10 years ago. And we're like, all right. I'm not there, but
no,
I'm much better now. So
it's kind of learned behavior.
It is, we get that call all the time.
Yeah.
And, our first question to, my thread is shredding and it's skipping stitches. Well, when's the last time you changed your needle? And you generally say, it's on Sarah's phone, and she just got a phone call, so our entire screen just went blank. Not really sure what's showing out on your end, but there you go. That was different.
We went to a telemarketer call.
Spam risk, right?
PSA, right?
So, right. So needles, they are very important, and when you're getting that shredding thread, the most common cause of that is a needle that has gotten a burr, is going dull, and all of that yuck. So the quickest thing to do is just swap that out. So if you really think about that, these on average, and some are more and some are less, but on average about $1 a piece. is it really worth ruining whatever fabric is underneath there and wasting how much thread? Just throw the needle away. Put in a new one.
Yeah. Yeah,
so do you want to?
Definitely. So there's some components to different needles that make them different. It has to do with the size of the needle. So, that's a good place for it right there. You can kind of see the point and then maybe turn it so they can see like the scarf in the back. There you go.
So
you can
here's
see a
the
little bit.
Scarf where it dips in. And then, of course, you have the eye, which is right here, which is where you're trying to aim when you're doing the squint and poke method for threading.
For threading.
Hopefully you have a threader so you don't have to deal with that. It's not my fault, Gail. It is all her fault. Just so you know.
So
and then of course all your standard are going to have that flat back.
Yep.
And that will go, except in very, very rare cases, it will always go to the back when you're threading that.
Most of the time flat to the back.
Yep.
So essentially what happens when we're stitching is that the needle size, so the length of the needle, is proportionate to how the machine is designed and your bobbin system. So whether you have a top loading bobbin or a front loading bobbin.
We should totally coin that.
Right.
If you have a trap, that means you have a top loading bobbin.
Yeah.
I think it sounds good.
So anyways, if your needle is not the right size or it's not the right kind, it doesn't necessarily make a good stitch. And so some of the things that can happen is you can get skip stitches. You can get little thread pokies, so loops. Where the stitch actually completed the stitch, but it's not.
Get some extra
looped on the top, and sometimes the bobbin in this case, and or of course shredding, or it just doesn't make a stitch.
It's just not doing it right.
And all of those things can be caused from your needle, and that's the thing that people don't really understand. They don't understand that this is one of the most important things on your sewing machine. So Schmetz does recommend that you change your needle about every 8 hours of sewing. So what does that really mean for most people? Sewing and embroidery is a little bit different. I typically change my needle with every project. So if I'm sewing and I'm working on a bag, I just take my needle out when I'm finished with my project, and I don't put another needle back in because I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing, right? Maybe I'm going to embroider the next day, or maybe I'm going to work on leather or pleather or cork or something, and in that instance I might need the different needle. So Schmetz has an app, which is a really fantastic app. So you can download the Schmetz Needle app to your phone, and it will tell you all about the different types
kind
of
and
needles.
Size and what all that means.
So my favorite thing for people to say to me is, can I have, the needle, just the one that will work with everything?
With everything.
And it's like, is there one spice that works with everything?
Absolutely.
They all kind of have their own.
Garlic.
Garlic.
Garlic works with everything.
You use that on chocolate?
I would give it a go. I mean, gotta be honest,
right?
I would give it a go.
So one size doesn't necessarily fit all with your needles. So it's important to get the right style of needle to go with the type of fabric that you're using. And when you're embroidering, it's not uncommon for me to change my needle in the middle of my embroidery project. So you shouldn't kind of freak out about that. That's a completely normal process. So definitely change your needle more often than not. And if you are unsure, you can always call us, but you can also reference that app.
That app is really, really good. There's lots of really great information in there.
There is. So it's a great thing. So that's our little public service announcement today. Change your needle often, and you won't have to call us as often.
And ask that question, and, that everybody...
Yep.
What's causing this? Well, So Gail wants to know if she can use a top stitch needle in an embroidery machine.
No, she said in my embroidery machine. So I wonder if she's referencing her multi-needle.
So let's answer that both ways. So with a multi-needle machine, you're going to end up using multiple needles. So don't just change one. And again, whatever your fabric is indicating that you need is what needle you have in there, whether it's a multi-needle or a flatbed machine. That is what you want to look for is making sure that you're matching that. So bottom line answer is yes. Is that always going to be the right needle? No, but you certainly can use that if that's the appropriate one for whatever your project is.
Yes. And so we are really lucky because our multi-needle machines use domestic needles. So for Gail, the question is, yes, you can refer it to, she said on my 2200. Absolutely. You can do it on both.
On either one.
So you can use it on both machines. On any you can use the top stitch needle embroidering on any domestic machine. A multi-needle machine, it's just Gail. She's talking about needles. Okay. She's typing really fast. Gail, we're trying to read from really far away. Type slower.
Yeah, and I took my glasses off, so I can't see.
So anyway, so that's our little service announcement.
Doesn't help.
It's
too far away. It's in that middle. Yeah, that didn't work.
So that's what we have to say about needles. So
very important, and they're not expensive. So one thing I want to add is every needle that you take out going to work?
No.
So when we ask you when's the last time you changed the needle and you said I just did, and we say do it again, that's because there is such a thing as a bad needle out of a brand new package of needles. I actually had a customer, and I don't know if I've said this before on here, I know I've said it in classes, that we sold her a pack of needles and she was here in class. She put the needle in and she's like, I can't get this threaded. And I'm like, I can help you. And she was a little older than me, so I'm figuring, well, I can see, and I'll just, maybe her threader was bent or something. There was absolutely no eye in the needle. It was just a solid shank.
Mm-hmm. And it was like when they put the coating, it just filled right through.
It just filled the whole thing. And so I'm like, well, here, let's, I'll get you a new one because you just bought these. I knew she had just bought them. All 5 in that pack were the same way.
Yeah.
So it can happen. Fortunately, they're not a super expensive thing. So if that does happen to you, just throw it away and grab another one. If you do happen to get a pack that has 5 needles with no holes in them, bring it back. I'll replace it. But that is extremely rare. And I looked through everything else. There wasn't another one in there. It was just such a fluke.
Yeah.
So weird. I have no idea what those say.
Thanks for not mentioning names.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's us.
The truth is we probably did it first.
We probably did it first.
Yes.
Absolutely. So there is a very nice wide range of needles, and do please make sure that you are swapping them out. I'm not as good as she is, but I'm learning, so I'm getting a lot better. Definitely changing it based on things, batiks.
Makes it
very different than just a standard
cotton.
You're
sewing a lot more than
I am. I'm not really sure what happens, but yeah.
Yeah, you're what you're doing is a
I
lot
am
different
branching
now
out
than a couple years ago. So
yep. That's your fault, I think.
I might be rubbing off on you a little bit.
Might be a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I'm that kind of friend.
Anyway, let's get that little pokey thing out of the way before I stab her in the ear with it. So I know you guys can't see the table in front of us, but it's filled with all kinds of fun things that we have recently gotten in the shop. So there's a lot of fun new things. Mm-hmm. Some things that aren't as new, we've just not had for a little while. And then there's some totally new and different stuff I'm not really sure what we're going to do with, but it was really cute, so we bought it. Where do you want to start?
And we'll just
Let's work our way down.
All right.
So
first, we have, so this is like vinyl coated
does it explain what it is?
Fabric.
It is spill proof, wash and wipe, food safe, family friendly.
It's laminated cotton.
Laminated cotton.
Mm-hmm. And so what we have here are
batiks
are there special needles. I'm getting ready to do a project Linus with batiks. Yes, microtex. So they have a really, really sharp point that'll penetrate the finely woven fabric better.
Spit that out.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And it will give you the best looking and straightest stitch.
Yes.
So back to our laminated cotton.
This stuff was so cool. We just had to get it. We haven't exactly figured out what we're going to do with it yet. However, it does show you right on the packaging. You can make with this piece, which is
it's 1 yard.
Yeah, I can't read.
It's by 58 inches, so it's like 36.
I gotta go to the eye doctor. This is the birds. Well, I didn't see it there. Oh, look at that! 58 inches wide by a yard. Is that what yours says too?
Yeah. So
there's some different patterns. We got flowers.
And
there's another cat pattern. I don't remember exactly what it looks like that was on back order that we didn't receive. Mm-hmm. So this is just really cool. So we've made lunch boxes in the store before. This would be a great thing for that because you literally just wipe it down and that's it. You're done.
aprons.
I mean, all kinds of things. Bibs, if you make bibs for little kids.
Yeah.
So on the little circular chart, let's put that off camera so they can't see. There's a little, it tells you what you can do there. I know we zoomed and now we're like, woo.
Where's the camera? So yeah, you can make two kids aprons, two bibs, 2 lunch sacks, 3 large totes, or 2 adult aprons. So all of the kids' stuff together, or 3 totes, or 2 aprons out of one of these. Yes.
So that's a lot of stuff.
Right.
And we just thought they were really cool.
And speaking of needles,
it just felt fun.
The front of this tells you to use a size 100 nonstick needle.
It does say that right there. Try Schmet's 100 nonstick needle.
We don't have 100 nonstick needles, but we have 90s, and 90s will be perfectly
good too.
Okay with this.
Yep.
So
isn't that stuff adorable?
It is so cute, and those patterns are on their website. That's Splash Fabrics.
So I kind of want to try making a wallet. Do you always get crap all over your wallet?
Yes.
I tend to get, I go buy lunch or whatever and something, and I am forever wiping off my wallet of some random something or other.
Yeah.
And I was like, that would be really cool.
It would be cute. Would be very cute.
It would be very cute.
We have to make that pork
and
wallet.
it's not super thick or anything. It's literally, it just feels like fabric. There's no extra thickness really in there, so it wouldn't bog down your seams or anything super crazy. So I really can't read any of that. We're going to have to.
Liner for totes.
Liner for totes would be great.
That's a great idea,
Great
Karen.
idea, Karen.
Oh,
okay.
These are your favorites.
These are, yes. So I had to buy some of these for myself too. So you guys have heard me say my favorite tweezers are the precision tip. They kind of go straight and then have a little bend at the top. Yep. Nice and precision point. You can grab your thread to thread it, or picking up a thread to snip or whatever. So these aren't a sharp edged angle point. These are just a curve, but they're nice and tight and they're pretty. I just had to. There's no
No, I think we should open one up for the store.
Okay.
Or for me. I don't have a pair yet.
I already took a pair home.
So
I used them this weekend.
See how cute
so
they
first of all, they come in this adorable case. So you get the case.
Do you still have your case?
Of course I do.
Okay. Sometimes you lose that. You get something really cute and then the case is gone. It's in the drawer at someplace.
No, I'm not that unorganized.
Underneath your fabric, or don't.
Oh, I occasionally lose things under, but not like completely.
Yeah,
loose.
no. I just meant like, do you still have your?
Nice little magnet shut case, and look at those nice little point. And they're so cute.
They are very cute.
I just, honestly, I thought of you when I saw these, but
they're very cute. That's a lot of pink for you.
I didn't care.
But you like them.
So darned cute.
They are.
And I love the tip. I thought that would be a nice option there. So for those of you who are curious, those are only $12. So the other ones are like $10. So they are a couple dollars more, but you get the case, which you don't get on the other ones. So I think
really
those are
great
just.
If you need to travel with them for any reason.
Yes, but be careful on the planes. God only knows what they do these days. I have
True.
No clue.
Just wear your mask.
Hide it in the mask. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe.
It's my sewing pouch.
Get that close.
Man, I don't know.
COVID. We can't be that close.
Darn X-ray machine's gonna get us every time. So some other things we have not had in store for a while. We've been really, really low on, and we do have these in both sizes. I only brought over here one size. We absolutely love our stash and stores. I have one by like every machine. That really sounds really bad.
Me too.
But every station in my sewing room has a stash and store, and what they basically are is there's little pockets inside of that you can literally just stash random tweezers or whatever else you happen to need.
You can stash
in there
to store it.
You can stash them in there and it will store it for you. So absolutely.
What a cute
very
name.
Good name. So we have the minis and the full size ones, which are basically twice as big as that.
Those are back in stock.
They are. We didn't get a ton, but we did get a few. So
it's one of those weird things that was on back order for quite a while. Like every time I tried to order, they were not in stock.
No, which is weird. I mean, it's kind of one of those random things. We're like, really, why? But we have absolutely no control over that.
Because everybody was staying home and organizing.
Every day. Yeah, we'll go with that. I was staying home making a big mess, just in case any of you were worrying. I wasn't doing all of that. This was really cool. So Sarah has to have one of every tool, it seems. She's kind of a tool junkie.
And this was brand new at OESD, and there's punches, so there are different sizes. So they go from 1.5 millimeter to 4 millimeters. And so the punches...
The tip basically changes size based on what you need.
Yeah, they screw on to the top here. So this screws... This is really slow. It's a long screw. Oh. So here you go. You have your tip. Why does everything...
I don't know.
Oh. Why does everything we say sound so nasty?
So anyways, there's lots of different tips that you can pick from that and get whatever perfect size that you need for ribbon placements, for whatever it happens to be.
Yeah. It's essentially an over-glorified eyelet punch.
Yes, like an awl kind of thing.
Yeah, with different sizes.
With different size tips.
So the instructions tell you to place this on your project, on your self-healing cutting mat. That is super important.
Yes, definitely don't do this on your beautiful cabinet your husband built you and you'll have little holes in it. Right? Don't do that. That would be bad.
Insert desired tip and punch into your tool by unscrewing the collar, and then place cutting tip on desired hole location and press straight down with firm, even pressure.
So there are so many things going through my head right now. Just really shouldn't be there. Like, you know, is bigger better, or
maybe
for the slow screw, which one goes in better? Like I said, she's a really bad influence. But anyways, let's move on.
Somebody said they're at work listening. Sorry, we never claimed to be PG.
No. Was there a rating on there we didn't know about?
No, you guys didn't. Nobody has commented. You can read. Look, it says OESD. It's not backwards anymore.
She fixed it.
I did.
So,
thanks to.
So last week, I get this text from my dad. I just watched part of your video. You know you can flip that. And I was like, well, yeah, I figured it was there somewhere. And he's like, then he starts telling me how to do it. And I'm like, this is so backwards. But thanks, Dad.
So you can read without needing to
I hope Dad doesn't
it.
watch this one.
Thanks, Dad, though. I did find it. It took me longer.
It took her a minute, but
I want to admit.
Yeah, so we're you can actually read everything and
our rings are on the right hand.
Right.
Or the left.
We're married. There you go. Okay, so those are some new things that have come out. We just got, you guys know that we had an OASD event on the 22nd of last month. So, of course, just like you guys all had to order, so did we. So we got some new things for the store. That little tool, but she only ordered one and she's planning on taking it home. But I bet if you called and said, I want it, she'll order herself another one and give you that one. But we did get some really cool stuff. So thanks to being an OESD dealer now, we have access to thread kits and things that before we were ordering individual spools and making the thread kits, which,
oh my God,
needless to say, it was a hassle because just like everything's always on back order, guess what? There was always a thread that we didn't have. And then we had to figure out which bag it went in when it came. And
I'm sure the reason they were always out of one is because it was in the cute kit.
It was in the cute kit.
I really expected it
I expected it to be prettier than that. So this is the new Enchanted Santa tile scene. So this literally just came out. This one has a lot of different threads. I'm sure it says on here somewhere, but maybe it doesn't. But
this is the cute case.
That is the cute box. So you get this really nice picture.
Am I in?
You're in. And then this is the CD. So for those of you who have been doing all of the OESD Christmas tile scenes, there are actually two new ones. This one is, again, the Enchanted Santa. And there's also, I don't remember the name of it, but it's candles.
Yeah, I ordered that kit, but I don't think it came in yet.
It's not in yet. So we now have literally the actual boxed thread kits that we have access to. And it's time to go home.
Which means you'll get everything in the
one
first
shot. Yep. So we have two of these that came in. So I have 2 CDs and 2 thread kits. Of course, we can certainly order more. You know, it's always kind of a stab in the dark as to how much to get of anything. So we tend to kind of take baby steps on all of that stuff. So, but we placed this maybe a week ago. maybe not even
Friday.
I think it was just the end of the last week. So it doesn't take us long to get them in if that's something that you guys are interested in. We happen to be out. We also have the ability to order all of the past thread kits and CDs. So if that's something that you've been kind of waiting on, or, you know, hey, we haven't had it when you were in, just let us know and we will get it for you.
So someone was asking about the price. The CDs.
The CD is $54.99.
Yep, $54.99.
I'm cheaper than her, so there you go. And the thread kit is $155.
Is $155. Yeah.
So
$210.
you know, right about
$210.
plus tax, of course.
We can't wait for you to make the store sample either, Karen, just in case you were wondering.
So, all right. So some other cool stuff we have had in the store now for a little while. The R&K, I had to think about that. I always call them the wrong thing. The R&K Floriani color block. We've been waiting impatiently for the white. It's been on back order. So I know there's a couple of you that have been waiting on it as well. OESD also offers something. So in the Floriani packaging, you're basically ordering a color of the whole package. They offer a multicolored pack here. So I don't know how well you guys can see that through there, but there's literally brown, white, black, red, green, blue. And so you have all of those different colors in one. So you get a variety, but not a ton of any one piece. They have two options to buy this. You can also get it on the roll. So this is called top cover on either packaging.
Read it.
So this is by yard. How many yards?
It is. This is
15 inches by 5 yards. And these are 20 sheets of 8 by 9. So I would imagine you get 4 sheets. Oh, here we go. 4 sheets of white, red, and black, 2 sheets of yellow, orange, green, and blue in here. So you get a nice variety, just depending on, you know, are you trying to stock up for what ifs, or do you know what you want it for, depending upon what way you're going to go?
And this is a product that they've had for quite some time.
They have, and we've actually had this in store like a year ago or something like that. She was like, this is really cool stuff. And I'm like, yeah, looks great, cool. And now it's become a little bit more popular. Kimberbell, for those of you who are watching from our previous month's Hullabaloo, you know, they use some of that in some of their designs as well. So it's being used in more patterns. You actually will see it written in the pattern rather than just, hey, I think I'm going to put this in there. So that is Top Cover by OESD. Very cool stuff, and it just gives you a lot more pop because you don't see any of the red showing through the whites or the print of the plaid coming through or whatever that happened to be. It gives you a nice view.
Originally, we used these for towels. So, you know, you put that, you put the clear water-soluble topper on towels. We used to use this. I used to use this all the time because this is what I had available.
Well, for those of you who have been here for a long time, that's what we've taught, is to use that heat and gone topping. It's just a plastic sheet and it tears away, but then you can iron away any excess places. But we always recommended that because it stays behind your design even when you wash it. So does this. So it gives you a lot more pop of color because it literally blocks all of those other things.
Yep. So it does the twofold. It blocks the threads from
plus
coming.
Keeps those terry loops from working your way up through your design. And you know, it looks perfect like the first 5 washes, and then 5 washes in, you're like, hey, what's that? And your weaves have just kind of loosened enough in the wash. This will prevent that all the time, which is awesome.
Absolutely. So
a couple other things from OESD. This is one of your favorite products. So we have had other types of this. This is a fusible woven. It's again a 15-inch by 5-yard roll. And it is literally called fusible woven. It does not, I should be reading this instead of speaking that I don't know about. It doesn't say whether it's pre-washed.
It doesn't say what it was pre-washed. I did specifically ask, and they did tell me that it wouldn't shrink, but I haven't had my hands on it yet.
Yep. So she kind of ordered this to play with it, but we did get more than 1 roll. So if you want to play with it too, you can, and we'd love to hear feedback on that. And then another thing that we do plan to carry in store is the Badge Master from OESD, and that one is a 12-inch by 8-yard roll. That works fantastic. OESD has some beautiful lace designs, and that is recommended. You can put a standard water soluble and then second layer of the Badge Master, and you just get no pulling at all. It just really stays, and you get that perfect, it's always so frustrating. You have these lace designs that stitch out, an hour later it does the final thing around the outside and it doesn't match because it's pulled in so much, and you're just like, oh man, there went all that thread and all that time, and
the combination of the two makes that another thing. And so one little tip about this, if you do a lot of the OESD freestanding, like their villages, there's a lot of applique pieces in there, and sometimes I like to use my glue stick to help hold the fabric in place so it doesn't shift. If you're doing that, you want to make sure that this is on the bottom and the
standard is on top.
The mesh, the water soluble mesh is on top, because your glue stick does not stick to this. So you put it on there and it's not even sticky. So that's what you would do. Gail asked,
and there's another question before that one. So the top cover.
The top colors. So we'll go back for a second. You use colors. So let's say you have a black towel, and you want red words. So if you put the red underneath it, it will prevent the black from showing through.
White is a perfect example. Same concept though. So if you have a print that's showing through into a pink or into a whatever, yellows are a perfect example. You've got generally a lighter yellow, and maybe you have something dark behind that, or the fabric that was behind that, or the towel, and it actually makes your fabric look slightly different color. This is going to prevent that from happening. So you actually get, it's a block, if you will, between whatever you're stitching on and what you're stitching, so that you get that nice clean piece. This was what we used in the typewriters for the keys, and the strike bars on the typewriters, and they really they pop like it wouldn't look the same if you hadn't.
Right, it gave dimension, and it also made the white stand out, so very, very stark up against that black fabric. So again, if you're doing any color, blue or red or green, you can use that shade. It doesn't have to be the same shade, but if you're
that shading underneath to keep that other color from coming through.
Yes. The same thing is sometimes you don't have great coverage of a design, so maybe you stitched out something and you realize that it was a little bit
thin in the density, if you will, and you're seeing a little bit of what's behind it because the fill stitch wasn't quite filled enough. Right. This would prevent that from showing through.
So that's why you would use that.
So, you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Or do you want to do these first?
So since we're on OESD kinda, and we're doing stuff, so some of you may know, you may have seen some of the emails coming out from OESD. They do this wonderful holiday celebration every year. And since we're participating this year, which I'm super excited about, in case you didn't know. So when you spend $79 in product, you get a free CD. So we have 20 of these CDs. So the first 20 people that buy $79 worth of stabilizer at the store will get this really cute free CD. So this is the Holiday Celebration 2020 Holly Jolly greeting cards.
Say that again.
Holly Jolly greeting cards. It's collection number 12834. So you can also purchase this separately if you just really liked it. But there are cards. And
also standalone Christmas pieces that you can add for envelopes or whatnot too.
Absolutely. Super cute designs. This is in-store special. So if you come in and you buy $80 worth or $79 worth of stabilizer, we'll give you this CD for free. Again, the first 20 people get that. But you can also go
online
on our website.
Yep. If you go to our website, there is an OESD link down the left-hand side where the menu bars are. If you click on OESD, you'll go to our OESD page on our website. There is a link there that you can shop, crediting us with whatever it is that you get in there. So we would really appreciate that if you go that route, because it allows you to shop at home and not have to come here, and it gets shipped right to your house, but it's still like you were shopping here. So if you click on that link, it'll take you to the OESD site, and the same thing will happen if you spend $79 on the site. Theirs is $79, just period, correct?
Yep.
Here, we're doing it with Stabilizer. So that is a cute little bonus. And unfortunately, we can't get more of those without buying. So there are 20, and it is a first come thing. So something that I am super excited about, because not that I've made a whole lot with cork, but I surely love to collect it, evidently. So when we were shopping with one of our reps, we got this beautiful new cork. So I don't know if y'all can see really great. I think you can.
Yeah,
there's actually blue metallic flecks in the navy blue cork. It is absolutely beautiful. It is a little bit more of a premium cork than some of the other things that we have here, but we are not changing the price. So it is still the $51 a yard, regardless of that it's a premium. So this is the wine colored. It doesn't have wine, maybe a little bit here and there, but
it's like copper fleck.
It is a really, it's just beautiful. You guys should come in and take a peek and see. And that is available by the yard. We can go down to a third yard cut if that's something. And the last thing that we've actually had this one in here for,
this was the
like
flood.
Right before the flood, and it got pushed aside, and we kind of totally forgot. I opened this one.
Oh, did you? I'm like, I thought I saw you.
So this is toweling. So for all of you who make a ton of towels and like to decorate different things, I keep leaning too far away, and then I go right off. So this is toweling, again, by the yard. So we have the navy and this, what did they call this one? It's on that tag.
Oh,
She's just making this difficult. Sea glass, which I like the name. So there's a couple different options. We have the navy with the white stitched stripes and the sea glass with the gray and white. Absolutely beautiful. It feels really nice. It's got a really nice hand to it. And you can, of course, stitch on that and make them personalized
and as you
to
can
whatever.
See, the side seams are already
done.
stitched up for you. So you just buy this to the length that you want, and then you can trim them. There are some fabulous, like really cute quilting designs. You could put a gather on the bottom of this. All kinds of ways that you could finish the edge of this, and then you would just trim the top and the bottom. So this is a really great idea, and
Christmas is coming, y'all. So
yeah,
we were just having, I don't know that we quite want to start talking about Christmas stuff, but
I took my glasses off. I can't see. I bought some in Traverse City in June. Have you used it yet?
So this is It is, yep, it's $7.29 a yard, and they are 100% cotton towelings. So you can, like we said, cut the length that you're looking for, personalize it, add a ruffle, add whatever it is that you would like, and there's lots of really beautiful things that you can do with that. So just as a little kind of start thinking about it, because unfortunately we are now in September.
I know. Where did it go?
I waited for the bus again today. I was just like, I'm totally ready to be done with waiting for buses in my life. I am way too old for this crap. Way too many years of doing it. That's, but there was at least no oops that I'm, now have to start all over again. So at least I don't have that.
Right, that's true.
And I won't. My husband has a co-worker, minion. Yeah, he's the boss there, but I don't know what they call themselves there. But he was telling my husband about his kids, and he's like, yeah, I've got 26, 24, 21, and 8. And I was like, oh my God, that would be so awful. I mean, not that the children are often, of course, but having to start all over again.
It's definitely a long enough span that you've completely forgotten what it was like.
What it was like. And by the way, guess what? It's not the same now. I mean, they have these little apple juice pouches, and they have these, the food alone for the babies and the kids and the toddlers. It's just crazy. But I really wanted to buy that Wonder Woman cup the other day.
They come out knowing about computers.
They're almost born with that knowledge. So,
yeah.
She made 2 towels for a hostess gift. So there. Nice job.
Yeah.
So I feel like such a dork. I can't see. But it is what it is. So I know that was a lot of products and stuff, but we've had a lot of really cool, neat stuff come in recently that we haven't had before. So we wanted you guys to know what was coming. If we know what we're going to talk about, which is a big if, we will post. Facebook today is going to talk about XYZ. We've talked about doing some rotary cutters, and we've talked a couple different things. She was like, well, what is your one tip? But I just looked at her and said, I'm not awake enough to answer that question, so let's do that another week. I can't do it today, but 6 o'clock came way too early
I'm
this
already
morning.
on my way here almost.
Yeah. What time did you go to bed?
11.
Yeah, I went to bed. Couldn't fall asleep. It was 1:30.
I had a hard time falling asleep.
It was 1:30 before I could fall asleep, and I was just like, you got to get up, go to sleep. And I think I talked myself out of it or something. I don't know.
Weird dreams. I have dreams I bought a new
She
machine.
has some really weird dreams. If you guys ever want some weird stories, just ask her about some of the dreams she's had. She comes in, she's like, I dreamt about fill in the blank. And I'm just like, okay.
Apparently I have a very active imagination.
Very active imagination, and sometimes it's just downright creepy. So you should ask sometime. But we won't keep y'all any longer. I hope you enjoyed the little tidbits of information. If you do have questions about needles, just let us know. Needles are very important. They're just this little tiny thing, but they are super duper important to getting your project coming out the way that you actually wanted it to look, instead of, well, that's good enough for who it's for, because I'm sure we've all said that at some point in our life, but of course that's not the goal. We want it to be as good as possible. So changing that needle is super duper important. Again, they recommend about every 8 hours in sewing. That's Schmetz's shtick, if you will. It's not always easy to rate that. Err on the side of just throw it away if you don't remember. It's always the better route to go. You got anything else?
No, I don't have anything else. We'll have a newsletter coming out probably by the end of the week because we have some upcoming classes.
Yep.
Maybe we'll pop back on Friday.
You never know.
And show you some samples of some classes, stuff we have coming
Yep.
up.
So we told you guys last week the embroidery class that I have. I did pick the dates. You will not get an email until my ribbon is supposed to come tomorrow. We'll see if that happens. But assuming that it does, I will hopefully have the kits ready by this weekend. And you guys can pick them up anytime next week. So the dates that we have put down for that are September 19th, which is a Saturday. And that will be at 3 o'clock. That will be a Zoom class. So you'll come in here sometime during the week before, pick up your kit, pay for the class. You'll go home, and then we'll log in to the Zoom class and we'll work the project together. The second date option is September 23rd. That is Wednesday the following week, and that one would be at 5 o'clock because that's when we close during the week. So the cost for that class is $25. You can use your punch card if you have been itching to use up the cards that you made about 4 of at the beginning of last season of classes. You can use your punch card for a $15 credit, which would be a punch and then $10. So that will be the first class that we have coming up. Again, that'll be Zoom. You should get an email by Friday at the latest, and we will move forward from there. And then we'll also have, upcoming stuff thrown in there. So.
And if you are in Stitcher's Garden or Hello Spring Block of the Month classes, your emails have gone out about the private Facebook group, and Stitcher's Garden Zoom meeting will be this week, Saturday at 9. So if you think you should have gotten that email and you didn't, or go back and look for that. So we do have those coming up. We have a laundry list of things.
We have a list mile long of things that we want to do.
Classes, yes. Be gracious with us. Gene is going on vacation. He's leaving us for 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, so he'll be out of the store. So Lisa and I will be running things. So now is a great time to buy a new anything. We're making great deals.
We want him to come home and say, you sold what? We say everything. That's the plan.
Yes.
So, if you have been thinking about it, just give us a buzz. And I know we've talked a lot about the Luminaire my mom in particular, she was like, I don't know, after you guys were taught, I might have to buy one of those. And
we do love it.
It is such a joy to sew.
Or the Solaris, don't get us wrong.
No, we just happen to be Disney people, so we bought the Brother version. But as you guys probably already know, they are the same machine.
Yes.
You know, do you like gold? Do you like blue? Do you want Disney or no? And that's pretty much the deciding factor between the two. Sometimes there's a promotion going on with one or the other, but other than that, they are the same machine. So we really appreciate you guys spending 45 minutes with us. And see, it looks really weird because I looked that way, but I looked that way. And that was just like, whoa.
It's too much for us.
It is. I don't know if I can handle it. We might have to just be backwards. I don't know. So I think we're good.
I think we are.
All right.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Bye.